Hello everybody. So I'm sure that you've probably seen my community post not long ago about the fact that I'm going to be raising some money for charity in a particularly special kind of way. So join me in this video as I talk about what I'm going to do. Hi, I'm Matt and you're watching Model Minute. So from my community post and my other social media posts that you might have seen me do since Saturday, it's now Wednesday, it's what, four or 5 days ago? You'll know that I'm raising money for the Force Cancer charity here in the UK. I know that there's currently a massive crisis with the health systems due to a particular event that's occurring at the moment. I don't need to say it, but because YouTube will demonetize me. I think it's important to remember that despite this, people are unfortunately still being diagnosed with and having to have treatment for various types of cancer. And the cancer charity that I've chosen to help support is one that I have had personal experience with. Not many of you have been aware of this apart from when I made my post, but back in September 2019 I was diagnosed with a stage 1 seminoma. Fortunately we caught it early and we were able to have it removed within 10 days of it being discovered. Having been told though that you have got cancer and that you are going to have it removed and not necessarily know what your treatment might be for the future because chemotherapy and things like that was still on the cards, it can be quite a terrifying experience to have to undertake. I know that at the time my mood dropped, my motivation for things disappeared. Obviously I was having to deal with the fact that the unknown, what could happen, what if this happens, what if that happens. Ultimately my mortality was in question at that point because you always think of cancer as being something that affects someone else. It's never something that you think you're going to get and then one day the doctor turned around to me and said, yeah, you've got cancer, we need to operate. And there were only really 3 things I think that were there to help me at that time in my life, and that was my friends and family who were very supportive. My hobbies, obviously I did a lot of modelling to help take my mind off of things, and that's why over the sort of Christmas period there were a lot of builds going on. And then the Force Cancer charity, they were there to help give me stress management, help me to understand what the diagnosis meant, and also they then give you complementary therapies as well that go with your diagnosis. So I was lucky enough to have some free stress release therapies, and also I was given a physio who gave me exercises to do with my particular cancer so that I could get back up to being fit and healthy again. Now the Force charity, they do all of this completely free of charge. They don't get any funding from the government, they don't get NHS funding. And I know some of you who probably live in different countries go, but hang on, the NHS in your country, that's free healthcare, you don't have to pay for your healthcare. Although that is sort of the case, we actually pay for the NHS out of our taxes every month. So a portion of my tax that I get paid for my job, that will go towards paying for the NHS. And it's a good system because there are times when, for example, say I very rarely got sick, I very rarely needed the NHS, so I was paying in so that someone else who had something more serious would get the funding for their treatment. Whereas now, obviously I had to have surgery, so I sort of got back what I put in, if you know what I mean. But the Force Cancer charity, they don't get funded in the same way that the NHS does, because the NHS is primarily focusing on the big stuff that you need to deal with, like the diseases, the operations and stuff like that, whereas the additional stuff such as your mental health and helping you come to terms with it and all these other things that you don't really think about until it happens, they have to seek that support from charitable donations and volunteers. So I was very fortunate that the Force Cancer charity was there for me at that difficult time in my life, and I am also very fortunate in the sense that it could have been a lot worse. I was very lucky that mine was a stage 1, so it was caught early, it hadn't spread, and although I will be under observation with CT scans and blood tests and examinations for the next 5 years to make sure it doesn't come back, as far as I'm concerned, I am effectively better. I am cancer free. I won't know for the next 5 years if I am 100% cancer free, but effectively I am for now. So in that sense, I have been very, very lucky. It could have been a lot worse. There are, however, people still today, every day, undergoing and being diagnosed with cancer, and it could potentially be a lot worse than the one that I had. So the amount of support that the Forced Cancer charity gave me at that time, I feel like it was time to give something back. Obviously, with the whole situation we've got at the moment, I'm not able to go out for runs or do, bagpacking and things that other people do, like they run 500 miles for charity. I'm not obviously able to do that. I have to pretty much stay inside. But one thing I've not been able to go and do is have my hair cut. As you can see, it's getting incredibly long now. And I've actually been putting off cutting it myself or getting someone else to cut it for this one specific reason. So I have decided that I'm going to raise money for the Forced Cancer charity by shaving my head. It is something inevitable. If you undergo chemotherapy for your cancer treatment, you probably will end up losing your hair because of the way the treatment affects your body, and one of the side effects is hair loss. I didn't have to undergo that, but I thought because I now have lots of hair and I can't go to the barber, it would be a great way to help show my solidarity and as a sign of testament to the people who are currently undergoing treatment that I cut it all off. So what I'm probably going to do is at some point this weekend, so Friday or Saturday, I haven't decided which day yet, I've figured out a way that I might be able to live stream to my channel, and you can come along and you can watch me shave it all off. It's all going. It's going as short as I can get it. I've already bought my clippers, so they're here, they're ready to go. All I need to do now is get that hair off. I would like to say that if you would feel like you can donate to my cause, I've got a Just Giving page down in the description. Obviously don't feel that if you can't or you haven't got the money for it or you're not in a position where you can do it, obviously it's fine. I just was hoping that I'd make you aware of the fact that if you see me in future videos and I've got no hair, then this is why. But if you do feel like you would like to contribute, please take a look at my link in the description. I originally set out to raise £100, which obviously to some people might not seem like a lot, but when you are trying to raise money, it's actually quite a large goal. And we already have surpassed that amount in the first couple of days, and we're pretty much getting close to 1.5 times that now. I think we're around the 140, 150 mark. So a massive thank you to everyone who has already pledged their support there. Count myself lucky that it could have been a lot worse. I'm quite fortunate that these people were there for me, and I hope that you find it within your hearts to help support my cause. If you can't, that's fine, I understand. I hope to see you all in the live stream where I get rid of all my hair and help to raise some awareness for this fantastic charity and the good work that they do. Thanks for watching.